Hi, loves! If you're new here, hi, hello. My name is Danny Coley, and I am the founder of Seek Inward Coaching. And here we talk about self-improvement, and I do my makeup. So if you enjoy those things, then I highly suggest you hit that subscribe button. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about one of the highest teachings in the universe, which is self-love and building up self-esteem and gaining self-confidence. Are you tired of having low self-esteem? Are you tired of worrying about your physical appearance? Tired of not being confident? This video is hopefully going to help you understand what self-love actually is and how it is crucial for you to be happy in life. What if you could love yourself exactly as you are without having to change a single thing? What are the principles that you would need to learn in order to know how to get the kind of life that you want for yourself? What are the most helpful teachings for this? As humans, we are actually really poor about teaching what self-love is and practicing self-love. Many people will preach about love, but are actually really poor at embodying self-love. Maybe you think that you do love yourself, but most people, when they say that they love themselves, it doesn't feel true to them. And honestly, all of mankind's problems ultimately stem from a lack of self-love. This may sound very new agey and impractical, but I promise you that self-love is extremely limitless and practical. You can really look at any problem in your life, and if you apply self-love to any challenge, I guarantee you that is going to help you find your answer that is practical. You can really take any challenge and expand your sense of love and then ask yourself practically, what should I do next? For example, let's say that you are working at a job that you hate. What is the solution? Self-love. Expand your sense of self-love. Practically, this means to do whatever it takes, whatever you have to do to find another job. Whether that is going back to school, whether that's working two jobs for a while, or starting your own business. Because if you truly loved yourself, you wouldn't stay in a job that you hate. You have to really find something that you are passionate about, that really motivates you and can help you get over any challenges in life. Staying at a job that you hate long term is honestly unacceptable, because then you won't be living up to your full potential as a human being. You're never going to fully fix your low self-esteem or gain a bunch of confidence from anything external. Really, we have to seek inwards or turn inwards. People can try to change things on their body to make themselves feel better about themselves, but ultimately it doesn't work. And honestly, you can't fix everything that you dislike about yourself. I mean, you can try to fix what you can, but ultimately you can't fix everything. And long term, no amount of money or fame or beauty is going to give you self-love and self-confidence. Really, in order to love yourself, first we have to understand the two components of self-love. We have to understand what the self is, and we have to understand what love is. Once you understand what these are, you are better able to embody it and apply it to your life. You have to really ask yourself who you are. Have you ever asked yourself that? Who/what is this entity that you are loving? Are you your body? Are you your imperfections? Or are you something greater? See, you really have to start to expand your limited view of the self. And also ask yourself what really could be holding you back from fully accepting yourself. So self-love is difficult and it does take some work. I mean, we are not perfect, right? So what we really want to learn is how we can love ourselves as we really are. You may feel like you're not as good as you could be. Your looks, your behaviors, your life circumstances. It's not always easy to like yourself. It's easier for some more than others. I know I'm always critiquing myself and super insecure about some of my behaviors and my looks. I'm usually comparing myself to other people and putting myself down. So it does take some real inner work to be happy with yourself, and it takes some real mind shifting. You've probably heard before that our minds are very powerful and your mind can play tricks on you. Our minds are powerful because what we focus on really does magnify. For example, someone who is always focused on the negative will probably develop this habit of always seeing the negative side of things and hardly ever see the positive side of things, and vice versa for people who mainly focus and put their awareness on the positive things in life. Usually they are more focused and have more positive things in their life and are less focused on the negative things. Right now, most likely you don't love yourself because you're too busy believing thoughts that tell you that you're not good enough. You can guide your mind and choose what you focus on and what your awareness is on. Sometimes we might focus on our imperfections all day long, but what if we focused on our greatness all day long? How much of a difference would that make in your life? If you can't change something about yourself, then you're just going to have to learn how to accept it and direct your focus elsewhere. So, the main purpose of why we are here on this earth is to realize that there are two dimensions to who we are. There's one that is defined by form, and then the other is the formless. So your physical body and your thoughts are the form side of you. And then there is the unmanifested side of you, or the unknown side of you, that is the other dimension. I realize that this is super deep, but I mean, when you deeply think about where things come from, it was nothing before it was something. So really everything comes from nothing, or the unmanifested, or the formless, and then it becomes something. And as human beings, we are really caught up in the form of everything and the known things about life. And really our purpose is to connect with the unknown and the unmanifested, which is kind of the source of everything. So, this idea of the I and the self is way deeper than conventionally thought. This deeper sense of who you are does not depend on thought or thinking. Remember when I said that most likely you don't fully love yourself because you're too busy believing thoughts that tell you that you're not good enough? Well, that is why you really have to find that deeper dimension within yourself where there is the formless, or you can think of it as having no thought. Your thoughts are energy formations. Remember, you can choose what you put your awareness on and what you focus on. You really don't need to think continuously. You have to learn how to become comfortable with not thinking and the unknown. If you don't give this up, you will never be able to go beyond thinking, which honestly limits your human potential. You do not need to continuously think for things to work out. Things will not spiral out of control if you stop thinking. Give attention to what is here and now and feel that inherent power of consciousness that is not produced by thought. That is really how you start to feel self-confident and self-love. Not because you have money or wealth or beauty. This self-love is simply from that inherent unknowing or unmanifested. You really have to start to love yourself unconditionally. And this isn't arrogant or conceited of you. You are all that you got. If you don't like yourself, then you really can't have a powerful life. In fact, you would probably cause pain and misery for other people. There are a few different self-love exercises, and one really great one is to look at yourself in the bathroom mirror and have a good look at yourself. Your mind will probably want to resist doing this, but look yourself straight in the eyes, and as you're doing that, tell yourself that I love and accept myself just the way I am. Say it to yourself 20 times and try to believe it. And this exercise works to some extent, but there's always a downside because it's hard to sustain this, because the other polarity of negative thoughts will most likely pop up. Maybe you will feel good about yourself for a split second, and this sliver of self-acceptance and self-love could be multiplied by 1,000,000 just by doing an exercise like this every single day. Another great exercise that I got from Teal Swan is to live your life according to one question for a full year. And that question is, what would someone who loved themselves do? When you ask this question, the answer should come up for you immediately, like a flash of intuition. And many of us have been taught to ignore our intuition. Society tells us to doubt our intuition, or that intuition isn't based in science or anything, so we should just ignore it. But even if we do shut out these messages from our intuition, our true self continues to send them. Intuition could be a thought, a gut feeling, an image, a quick impression, and so many other different things. Really, we have to have the balls to act on our intuition. And you will know whether it's in line with your highest self based on how it feels. It will emotionally feel like a relief. It will feel good. The key is to really make asking yourself this question, what would someone who loved themselves do, a habit. Asking yourself this question may seem kind of ridiculous, but I promise you it's actually one of the most difficult things that you can ever do. It's difficult because every single thing that is in the way of love in your life in general will come up to the surface. It's important to know that you truly cannot love anything without simultaneously loving yourself. Having this robust self-love for yourself is not an excuse to be lazy. So it's this paradox of, okay, I accept myself for who I am, I'm great, I'm awesome, but also I can be even more awesome and even more great. You are beautiful just the way that you are, and you need to realize that. You're an amazing creation, but you overlook it because of these social games that we're taught to play. You're not just learning to love yourself as a human biological being, but you also really have to expand your sense of love to the entire universe. Not as you fantasize the universe to be, but love it the way that it actually is. Self-love is practicing the appreciation of the infinite mind. which has generated your entire life. Don't take for granted the miracle of life. There are many benefits to loving yourself. Number one, you won't be suffering or hating yourself anymore. Your relationships in life will go a lot smoother because you will love yourself and the other person equally. You'll want the best for yourself, you'll want yourself to grow, and you'll want your partner to grow. You will also heal much faster with self-love because when you're sick or in pain or something like that, you could hate yourself for being sick and in pain, which stresses your body out even more, or you could learn to accept and love yourself. You'll be more understanding of yourself, and you will be healthier because loving yourself, most likely you won't be eating as much junk food or drinking as much soda. So basically, you won't be destroying your health or overworking yourself. Of course, these are just some of the benefits of expanding your sense of self-love, but just be more understanding of the entire process of life. After any bad situation in your life, give yourself more self-love. The worse that your problem is, the more self-love you'll actually need. The problem is that the more serious that your problem is, the less likely you are to take self-love seriously. But it is actually the most practical thing that you could do because you won't be able to accept anyone in life unconditionally until you accept yourself unconditionally. It's also really important to remember that your self-worth does not depend on your life situation. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life or what you have done in your past, you are worthy. So, what have we learned today? One thing we have learned is that self-love is one of the most important things that you can teach anyone. Remember that no amount of money or fame or beauty can compensate for self-love. Self-love is the ultimate strength and power. To reject any part of yourself is extremely ignorant, and we have to learn to love the parts of ourselves that we struggle to accept. Love is not something that you do, but it is something that you become. Love is literally all that there is, but that is a very deep topic that hopefully we'll get into in future Seek Inward videos. But really, how can you be yourself if you don't accept yourself and get to know yourself? Okay, I'm pretty much done with my makeup, but I just want to leave you with a few more tips. So I highly recommend that you take 5 minutes every single day to go sit in a quiet place in your house or apartment and take, a couple conscious breaths where you're completely focused on your breath and relax, and then start to ask yourself questions and contemplate life. What's really important to me? What do I want to get out of this life? What am I grateful for today? And if you do this every single day, the conversations with yourself will start to get deeper and deeper and deeper. And it's critical to build this connection with yourself. And lastly, I want to leave you with 6 ingredients for self-love and building your self-esteem. These are from a really great book called The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem, I believe, by Nathaniel Branden. I highly recommend. And the 6 pillars are: number 1, practice living mindfully, which means be present, take some of those conscious breaths I was talking to you about, and thinking less. Number 2, practice self-acceptance. So accept who you are, what you enjoy, what you do. And it's really the sense of not judging yourself. It's mastering, accepting, and forgiving yourself and your unwanted behaviors. Number 3 is the practice of self-responsibility. So taking full responsibility for your life, your emotions, No one is coming to save you. You are responsible for any situation that you are in any given moment. Number 4 is the practice of self-assertiveness. So this is setting boundaries and honoring your wants and needs. It's really confronting any challenges in life rather than running away from them. Number 5 is the practice of living purposefully. So this is setting goals and working towards them, living with integrity, having values and sticking to those values, identifying the actions that you need to take to achieve your goals, journaling, writing these things down is really helpful for that, and really monitoring your behavior and making sure that you are in alignment with your goals. And number 6 is the practice of integrity. And what this really means is sticking to your values, because when your goals and ideals are out of alignment with your values, you can really start to feel unauthentic. Those are the 6 pillars for self-esteem by Nathaniel Branden. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video with me. I really hope that this gave you a better understanding of the self and love and building up your self-confidence. Please give this video a thumbs up if you found it to be helpful. Let's go ahead and continue this conversation over on social media with the hashtag #SeekInward. I really do appreciate and read all of your comments. Also, if you would like to sign up with a coaching session with me, you can head over to seekinward.com. Remember to expand your sense of love, and I will see you next time. Bye!